In open play middle third, Barcelona were building the game in traditionally back four. Barcelona were using sole pivot and two attacking midfielder, and Celta were defending in a 4-4-2 narrow formation. In open play, Celta were pressing with the front two, but Celta's frontmen were not dedicatedly pressing Barca's centre backs. The position of Celta's frontman was central and narrow. Due to the position of Celta's frontman being central and narrow, Barca's pivot was getting cover shadow and Barca's pivot was unable to receive the ball centrally. In open play, Celta's front and second line were central and narrow, and Barca had space in the wide zone, and Barca's fullback were easily reaching the ball in the wide zone. Barca were using two attacking midfielders, and they were Pedri and Gavi. Pedri and Gavi were operating between the line in open play. As we discussed, Celta's midfield was central and narrow, so Celta's midfield operating narrowly caused Pedri and Gavi's passing lane to be blocked, and Barca's attacking midfielder unable to receive the ball between the line. When Barca's fullback was receiving the ball, Celta's midfield was drifting wide. Due to the Celta's midfield being drifted wide, Gavi was getting cover shadowed by Celta's wide midfielder, and Pedri was also getting cover shadowed by Celta's wide midfielder. On the other hand, Celta had number advantage in midfield. Barca's midfield was 4 vs 3 down in front of Celta's midfield. Barca were already outnumbered in midfield, and Barca's midfielder were unable to receive the ball between the lines. So Barcelona were preferring to dominate game by playing wide or long balls. Barca's fullbacks were pushing high in open play. Barca's right back was playing as an inverted fullback, and his position was in right half space alongside Sergio Busquets. On the other hand, Barca's left back was pushing high. He was playing almost like a traditional winger. You can see here Jordi Alba's position was high and wide, and he was providing width on the left hand side by staying high and wide. Barca's right back was an inverted fullback, so if Barcelona was losing ball position on the right hand side, then the right back could cover Barca's right hand side by playing deep on the right hand side. But on the other hand, Barca's left back was pushing high, so if Barcelona were losing the ball position on the left hand side, Barca's left back was not able to cover the left hand side. So if Barcelona were losing ball position on the left hand side, Barca's left back was not able to cover the left hand side. So to deal with this situation, the left midfielder of Barca were dropping in and supporting the centre backs of the Barca. So when the left back of Barca were pushing high, Gavi was dropping in and giving protection on the left hand side. The build-up phase, Barca were in back 3 because of Gavi's drop in. Celta's front line was 3 vs 2 down as Barca play in back 3, and Barca had number advantage in the build-up phase. Celta's front line was narrow, so because of Celta's front line being narrow, Gavi could easily drive the ball in the wide zone. The players on the left hand side of Barca were interchanging their position. Barca had number advantage of 3 vs 2 player in the wide zone. When Barca's fullback was receiving the ball, Celta's wide player was ready to press fullback, and Celta's fullback was committed on Barca's winger. So if Celta's central midfielder had failed to track back Barca's midfielder, then Gavi was easily going behind the defense, and this move leads to Barca's first goal. In the open play middle third, Celta's midfielder were pressing aggressively. As we discussed, if Celta's center midfielder had failed to track back Gavi, Gavi was easily going behind the defense. You can see here Barca were building the game in the wide zone, and Gavi's run was not anticipated by any midfielder, and Gavi was easily go behind the defense, and Pedri scored. In the final third, Barca's attacking save was 2-3-5. Pedri's position was central in the final third, and he was playing almost like a second striker. Leva was central and holding Celta's central defenders. Because Barca's left back was playing high and wide, obviously Barca's winger could invert and play in the half space. Due to the winger and Pedri playing in the half space, Celta's fullback could not drift wide to close down Barca's fullback. On the other hand, because Celta's wide midfielder was committed on Gavi, the Barca's fullback had time and space to put the crosses. On the other hand, Barca's striker was drifting wide. Celta's central defender were forced to follow Leva as the Barca striker was drifted wide, and you can see here how unbalanced Celta's defense was. Pedri was playing almost like a second striker, so if Leva was drifting wide, Pedri was holding the central position and engaged the Celta's central defender and fullback.